Let's start with Arsenal. Ajax interested in signing Aaron Ramsdale on loan, but Arsenal would prefer a permanent sale.
Tottenham, are they going to buy Eddie Nketiah from Arsenal?
Yeah, we mentioned it in the wrap, just a bit more meat on the bones here. A number of Premier League clubs are looking into the details around a potential deal to sign Eddie Nketiah in this window. We understand the most important thing for him in this window, and for his future really, is first team minutes here. Arsenal turned down a £17 million bid from Marseille earlier on this window, so you understand roughly what the valuation of the player is. An ambitious deal. They do need to replace Dominic Solanke, you feel?
And what about Aaron Ramsdale? He's not going to sit and watch David Raya keep goal for another season at Arsenal, is he?
Well, I mean, time's running out in that sense, because you do wonder. I mean, you'd imagine you wouldn't want to do that, of course, with England aspirations as well. But we do know this morning that it was interest from Ajax. That's loan interest, not a permanent deal interest. So we want to see if that one develops or not. But at the moment, Arsenal not keen on loaning out Ramsdale.
OK.
Ajax are interested in signing Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. They have explored a loan move, but it is understood Arsenal at this stage prefer a permanent sale. Ajax are now discussing their next steps internally. If a deal is struck for Ramsdale, Arsenal will want to bring in another goalkeeper. They have an interest in Espanyol's former Spanish under-21 keeper, Juan Garcia. Right, this is interesting, isn't it, Ramsdale? Because it's someone that maybe you'd thought you'd been talking about a little bit earlier. He's stuck around, but does he need to move? Is he far too good to be a number two?
I think so. I think so, and I think Aaron Ramsdale believes that as well. I think he believed that a long time ago. He would have been really frustrated this season. I think he understands how the industry of football is, and this can happen. It probably would have come to a little bit of a shock, like it did to quite a lot of fans. But I think Aaron Ramsdale's way too good to be sitting on the bench and playing second fiddle to David Raya. And he pretty much only played last year in games where they played Brentford, where Raya couldn't actually play, and maybe a couple of cup games here. And that's Aaron Ramsdale's better than that. He's had a taste of what it's like to play in the Premier League, and then obviously move to Arsenal and be challenging for the league, which they kind of did.
He didn't do anything wrong. He was good in that season.
And he was very good in that season, and really endeared himself to the fans. He's got a great relationship with the fans. If you speak to Arsenal fans, they always speak quite highly of him, and he's always rooting for the team. He's got a good headspace on him as well, in terms of not agitating and just falling back. But now he's done that for a year, I do not envisage for 1 second that Aaron Ramsdale will not be talking to his agents and the football club to say, I'm off, I'm not doing this again for another year. And Mikel Arteta, of course, will be respectful and say he's fantastic and we want to use his skill set, etc., etc. But Mikel Arteta made his mind up a very long time ago. As soon as he brought David Raya into the football club, his decision was made that would be the number one. And that's how the season panned out.
So for Ramsdale, clearly staying in the England squad is a big priority for him. You know, going to Ajax, going to the Dutch league, is that the place to go to keep him in the international squad?
Well, it's a completely different international landscape right now. Jordan Pickford was Gareth Southgate's number one. Who's to say that Lee Colsley hasn't got different ideas as the interim England manager? So Aaron Ramsdale understands that he needs to go and get first-team football. What I will say, and there's an air of caution around this, is that unless you're Jude Bellingham or Harry Kane, who play for the biggest clubs in the world, and Bayern Munich and Real Madrid and are superstars, I don't necessarily know if going abroad serves your England career that well. You look at players who've gone abroad and done really well, the likes of Fikayo Tomori. You saw Jadon Sancho at the back end of the season go and perform at a decent level for Borussia Dortmund. Doesn't automatically mean that you're going to be selected for England. It's not a case of out of sight, out of mind, but we know the limelight the Premier League gives you and the kind of spotlight that you're under week in, week out. We saw Jordan Henderson at the back end of last season go to Ajax, didn't make the English squad. Of course, he was playing the first half of that season in Saudi Arabia, which didn't work out for him. And so going to an Ajax team that are not necessarily the powerhouses that they used to be a few years ago will give them an opportunity to play football regularly, but I don't necessarily think that guarantees them a spot in this England squad, because we know the quality of those leagues is not necessarily up to the standard